Sorry, part 2 now. These rants tend to go a bit long. So MacGyver feels that he has taught this person a moral lesson. That's not life. You can't teach someone who has a real hate on for another type of people in the world the concept of mercy. I'm sorry. That's not how life goes. You can't just... And MacGyver's all like, well, I did this. Good, yay me. And it's like, no, even then when I was a child looking at it, I think I was like a teenager when I saw that episode, it's like, no, he just would have straight up shot him. There's no teaching. You can't teach bad guys to be good. I'm sorry. You just can't, and not in a brief moment like that. It's unrealistic. For a show that says you can build stuff out of Tinker Toys, but that's, yes. So MacGyver gets so... Basically, MacGyver is so anti-gun, and they're trying to spin that off as so innocently optimistic to the point of absurdity. Like he doesn't let the Merlin character in his dream backflash time travel story drink wine. Like he says, oh, don't drink the wine. But it's his wine. Let him drink it. It's not like his hand-eye coordination is really key at this one particular moment while you're building this thing. But no imbibement of alcoholic beverage. Sorry. It just gets too morally annoying sometimes watching this, because he's got to be immoral for the kiddies. But then it becomes unrealistic. As unrealistic as that particular episode was. But anyway. Okay. And on addition with the part of the second part of the story with the kid shooting and the kid shooting the little black girl. Now, the concept of racism and kids have been brought up before. One episode in particular is Rossan. Okay, so in the episode, DJ is kissed by a little black girl, and then he pushes her away, and people are assuming, oh, then he must be racist, or intolerant, or something negative. No, he would have pretty much acted that way even if the girl was white. He's not even 12. I believe in that he was like 9, or whatever. He's not even reached puberty. And people think, well, if he acts that way, it's like, what boy wouldn't? Boys growing up until they reach adolescence are not the most affectionate thing in the fucking universe. I was affectionate because I was raised that way at that time. To the point where I had to learn social boundaries with other people, with friends, I had to be told by them, certain things. It's a light stuff. It's more of don't stand so close to me sort of thing. It's like, okay, personal space. All right. But, him reacting that way is not a gigantic shock. And it's not a racist thing. It's a preference. Him not finding the little black girl cute or likable or, oh, that's so nice of her. That's preference. There are a lot of white girls that would have kissed him at that school, and he still wouldn't have liked it, or was confused by it, or hated it. It's not just the fact that she's black. It's preference. This just is not a preference of his, and especially so that he's not sexually active. It's like it's so difficult for people to believe. Oh, and by the way, when they're trying to get airlines, one controversial thing, when they're trying to get they're trying to call the airport to cancel other people's flights in order to get everyone to go to Disney World. When Rossan pretends to be a Middle Eastern person, and at the end she says, "Yeah, I'm canceling the flight. Such and such person. I'm canceling my flight. Yeah. Before she hangs up, she says, "Yeah, praise Allah," and then hangs up. It's like, Oh, that just so would not fly today. That just so wouldn't, because it's so 90s. Because no one gave a shit about other people's feelings. Which is kind of what I miss. I miss the fact when people just did shit, you know, kind of more without really the express person. I don't give a shit about your feelings. Deal with it, you know? Kind of miss that in my shows. But anyway, because today everyone's just so fucking fragile. You know? And it gets annoying, or the knee-jerk reaction of Rossan, it's like, she sent an inappropriate tweet! Oh my god! You know? Show's gone. You're fired. But out of mercy, we'll bring back the Connors. And another attempt to milk the franchise. You know? It's just... reprimand her, take her cell phone away, but fire her? Really? But anyway, this brings me to season 10, when DJ is shown to be married to possibly the African-American lady. I kind of found it as kind of like a needless pandering of the now times, because, you know, you need to have this, you need to have a well-rounded cast, you need to, at least one black person in there, you know, show. You need to be modern and woke. Okay. So, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, The Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch just came out on Netflix. And they had an addition to the cast. They said, oh, they have a cousin. Cool. So we have an additional family member outside of Zelda, Helda, and Sabrina. We now have an additional member who's staying there as a permanent main character. And he's a warlock. Cool. Oh, and he's black. Okay. Cool. Whatever. And then he said, oh, and by the way, did we forget to mention he's gay? I'm like, and that's it. You lost me. It's not that he's gay. It's not that he's black. Or that he's a guy. It's the fact that they put all those 4 things, an additional family member, a guy, black, and gay, all in one character. So they're trying to fill 4 checkboxes in one character. It just has this, it's like they're just trying to, like, penny say, what was it? I don't know what the damn word is, but they're trying to compress all these 4 checkboxes down to one thing and say, there, we have this thing. Oh, and I forget to mention, we have a woke society in there too, called Wiccan, because small towns need not to just only get past the male dominant stuff, but have woke society monitoring. For fuck's sake, we're not here to see about women's rights. We're here to see a teenage witch trying to not have to sign her life away to the devil. All this other drama bullshit at the school is like really annoying, because it's like, because it's modern. Get it? See, it's this modern bullshit. It's like, I don't want modern. It's okay to be realistic, but you don't have to have all these goddamn fucking checkboxes of the nowness inserted into the shows you're trying to bring back, because it comes off a stark contrast of trying to appease to everybody on the fucking planet, and you can't do that without alienating your original audience. Me. I liked Rossan. Rossan is what taught me about forgiveness and flaws, and the fact you have to learn to live with it. Not everyone's going to evolve like My Little Pony and be like a better person like that, or by the end of the show. Everybody on Rossan, from the first season to the last season, which was season 9, and then 10 and 11, are basically the same people. They're still just as flawed, just as... They're still flawed. Even though if they've learned past mistakes, they make new ones. And they try to still stay together and be harmonious, and not be epic, not to be self-destructive in the wake of their pain, because we constantly see their pain. All throughout the seasons, we see that they have pain that they have to deal with. Rossan and Dan dealt it with humor, you know, and everyone else subjectively in some other various forms thereof. and it's all about dynamics, relationships, concepts, struggle, real world struggle. You know, it was the most realistic show on television. Fuller House was a bit more child friendly, even though it did have good jokes and it did have having to deal with certain concepts. And how the hell does a gang manage to destroy an entire city park without nobody fucking noticing? Like, that would... You cannot destroy a fucking swing set and say, well, they did it like stealth ninjas. With what? Their bare hands? They couldn't possibly pull that off without some sort of heavy-duty power tools. Kidding me? But anyway, back to Roseanne. Roseanne's what taught me that flawed people are still going to be mostly flawed. No matter how much they advance and change and become better, they still have problems in their life. And acceptance, tolerance, and understanding came from that show. And then what does ABC do? They just say, fuck it, she's fired, gone. One mistake, gone. Wow, one mistake and you're gone. There's something. Which is rather, again, tragically ironic that the show that taught me to be tolerant and understanding is not tolerant and understanding. So you can see the irony here. Yeah, the tragedy and the irony. But yeah, it's just having modern shows be modern. That's fine because it's made from a modern time. But you take an old concept, bring it into the now, and say, well, time has passed and this and that. It's like it just comes off as a forced insert because they need to have those checkboxes. You know. It's just pulls me out of it a little bit because it's like, oh, and having the grandson openly in the first season 10 of his introduction, say that he likes colors, he likes purple. Okay, what? So he likes Bill Cosby sweaters. What? And then he says, oh, I was gay the whole time. It just took me forever to realize it now. It's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Really? I'm gonna pull that card now? Another checkbox. The gay grandson. That's another recent addition. Because you gotta appease to everyone. You gotta hit that broad spectrum. That's why I like art house films, because, much like me, I don't pander to everybody on the fucking planet. Find that narrow niche. I like playing that narrow niche because that's my thing. And that's why I like art houses. That's why those thrillers at was it Grindhouse Productions, they know their audience. They're planning to play to that one group or one demographic. They know they're not going to be a family-friendly film. They know this. You know, and everyone's just... But it's television. It's got to be for everybody. So you got to have a little bit of everybody. For everybody. It just turns into a thing. It's just... we're done with this. So... that's the real basis for this whole rant, is that... If I'm going to rant, I should have better hair. Sorry. Trying to grow my hair out before it all goes away. Is that being modern does not mean you have to be woke and, you know, and be a show for everybody. Seinfeld wasn't for everybody. It was just for people. And people loved it because it had everything. It was about everyday life. Friends was popular because it was just about everyday life. It wasn't an action show. It wasn't a romance show. It wasn't a... Okay, drama, that's why I have a drama shelf separate with each science fiction and fantasy and sci-fi fantasy. That's why I have them broken up like that, because drama is the baseline back there. The whole top row, which is mostly hentai, that's drama back there. Friends was a drama. Seinfeld was a drama. But with that straight line of drama, you can add in the time Jerry ran a race to the theme of Superman. The time, was it Chandler and Joey got into a fight with some guys on the street, you could add in parts of drama, suspense. The time they're looking for that monkey in the basement, a bit of a thriller, a little bit, into a romance, begrudgingly sometimes. And to be perfectly clear, they were on a break. But yeah, that's the thing. With dramas, you can add in these little things. And they weren't pandering. They won't have, hey, this is the obvious wink, wink, nudge, nudge, look at the camera, token black eye for the cast. They have a guy come in for an episode, sure, because people come in and out of your life all the time. That's life. He isn't there as in, I'm clearly that guy, friend, And they were ordinary people. They weren't exactly, they were archetypes, but they weren't stereotypes. These woke and modern characters are stereotypes. The son or the gay son or grandson, the token black character who's there just because a checkbox needs to be checked. That's why the 90s got these sitcoms so right, is because things were added and removed all the time. It was constantly shifting. Granted, there was a status quo that they always went back to, or the formulaic stuff, but it was interesting enough and exciting enough saying, what is today's exciting episode? Could be as bad as trying to get a spilled coffee stain out of clothes, or could be a dash to try and get to a wedding on time. But whatever. What do I know? I'm just a Z-list internet reviewer. But yeah, that's what the 80s and 90s were, was these concepts. And to the point of ludicrousy with their optimism, of positiveness, they still were interesting. And they showed a way around being shot by other people with guns. And it works best when MacGyver doesn't have a gun. That's just the way it comes off better. It would have been interesting, though, to have that character or some other variation of that character on Rossan come back and talk to DJ after puberty and say, she actually's got some curves. That sexual attraction, that thing that people go through. That's why they're attracted to women. And it's like, oh, so now if she kisses him, it wouldn't be such a unknown thing. He doesn't know how to process. He'll know how to take it. Okay, I'm not into black chicks. Or, yeah, that was cool. Or, wow, that was nice. He could actually have an opinion on it now that it's in his head that intimacy is a thing, as to before. It just, I don't know. This has these thoughts and ideas in my head, and I hope this helps somebody. I hope it does. I had all this stuff in my head for like 5 hours because I kept trying to turn around waiting for someone to come into my work so I could tell them all this stuff. Hopefully someone who spoke English, because yeah, I'm stuck with also co-workers that still don't speak English, but thankfully I know another half that does, so that's good. Of course, she probably won't be coming back until tomorrow night, so yeah, I gotta get back to my breakfast before it fully cools, but yeah, so hope this helps with the contrast of the 80s and 90s, its pitfalls, so its failings and successes versus now successes. There aren't very many successes. That's why they're pulling back from the past, because they're saying our shows aren't really popular enough yet. or at all. So, you know what was popular? That. So let's pull that in. You know, that's why. Fail, 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 fail. Movies, TV, they keep failing so hard. Rossan is the only one they ever really actually done right. They tried the MacGyver stuff. It's just more ludicrous. It's just more ludicrous. The son of MacGyver, I think it was supposed to be the son of MacGyver, and nope, ludicrous. Hawaii Five-0. Okay, but they weren't trying to base this off of the original. They're just based off the concept of the original, I believe, which is also inspired by Lost. But whatever. Yeah. So, like I said, the only thing that they've brought back that's even remotely done right is Rossan, and then they screwed that up. So, well, hopefully my next video will be a little bit more coherent. And let's hope, fingers crossed here, people, fingers crossed that somebody comes up with a good show, or if they bring something back, can actually do it right without having to do all those little checkboxes of modernness. So, anyway. To all you faithful viewers out there, take care. And remember, save your pennies, I guess. I don't know. It's only real good advice I can give you. Alright. So, take care, and I guess at this point, see you at the conventions.